Hey everybody! I'm here today to talk to you about 3 bad steering techniques to avoid while driving. In this video, I will be going over 3 steering techniques that are absolutely horrible, and you should avoid these at all costs while driving. Let's get right into the video. Number 1 is hook steering. Now, this is a horrible steering technique for many reasons, and I'll go over those reasons in just a moment. But let me show you what hook steering is. Have you ever seen someone turn like this? That's hook steering. You're taking the wheel, you're hooking it like that. And it's horrible. I'll tell you why. Number 1, I'm using one hand to steer, which isn't the worst thing in the world, but it's horrible when you do it like this. Number 2, I'm using an underhand grip, and I don't have any real control. As you can see, the wheel is very loose. I don't have any real control over the steering of the car. And if I need to steer back, I can only go this much. I can't go any further. It's hard to see this, but my elbow is completely out of whack here. I can't go any further. So hook steering gives you basically no control, and it should be avoided at all costs. You should never, ever use it. It's very simple and straightforward. It's a horrible technique, you know, and I've even seen people that I know, like friends and family members, use this method because it's a habit, and I ask them nicely, please stop, because like you're endangering yourself and everyone else, okay? Number 2 is getting your hands crossed on the wheel. So when you're driving like this, okay, if you're using a method like push-pull like this, your hands never cross over, okay? But if you're driving and you're using hand over hand, it is very possible that sometimes your hands can get stuck crossed. So when I use hand over hand steering, it looks like this, okay? My hands cross for a moment, but then I uncross them, and that's totally fine. But you see, when you get stuck like this in a turn, that's a problem. Your hands are crossed. So let's say I'm turning left, and I have to turn the wheel this much, and I stay like this. My hands are crossed. That's extremely dangerous. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that when my hands are like this, if I'm stuck like this, I move one hand over and I slide across. So let's say I'm turning, and my hands get stuck like this, move one hand over, slide across. That's the way to remedy that situation. But avoid keeping your hands crossed at any point while steering. It's really extremely dangerous because, first of all, your senses are misoriented because you're reversed. But secondly, you know, you have very little control over the wheel like this, okay? Number 3, and this one, I'm guilty of doing this all the time as well, but it's one hand at 12 o'clock for an extended period of time. Now, I'll tell you the truth, I drive with one hand at 12 o'clock for very short spurts of time, all the time, okay? Because if I'm changing the radio or the climate control, I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm not going to tell you to never drive like this, because you got to use this hand. I come drink a sip of coffee, whatever the case is. I need to have one hand on the wheel for a quick moment, okay? 12 o'clock is the best place for you to have one hand on your wheel. However, for short periods of time. So I'll have one hand on the wheel, I'll go do what I need to do with this hand, and then I'll come back. Okay, one hand on the wheel, you know, it's 3 to 4 seconds, maybe 5 seconds max, and then I'm back like this. I see people drive like this for hours at a time, and it's really, really dangerous. You lack control, and it's just not great, okay? You're putting yourself in a jeopardizing situation. So with that being said, one hand on the wheel, in my opinion, is okay. Not for the driving test. You know, for the driving test, try and have 2 hands on the wheel all the time. But I'm talking about in practicality, in terms of practical day-to-day driving. It's okay like this for a quick moment, but then go back to 2 hands. That's it. Those are essentially 3 bad steering techniques to avoid while driving. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more great videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.